There will always be a better looking man. There will always be a richer one, too. And finances are now the number one reason women leave relationships. But here's what nobody is saying. Money problems in relationships are rarely actually about money. They're about two people who never got clear on who they are and what they value before they committed. And until that changes, no amount of income will fix what identity was supposed to solve. If you've ever looked at your relationship and wondered why something always feels missing, this is for you. Not for people going through a rough patch. For the one stuck in the same cycle, different person, same outcome, and can't figure out why. In this video, you're going to walk away with one clear standard. Clarity before commitment. Values before connection. I'm going to say it again. And I want it to ring in your ear. Clarity before commitment. Values before connection. And it will change how you choose relationships and why you stay in them. Because here's the truth. Every year you spend chasing the next best thing instead of building real alignment is a year you cannot get back. Most people never stop to think about this. Before you choose the last person you were with, did you actually know what you valued? Did you? Not what you felt, what you valued. Most people don't. And that gap between feeling and knowing is where relationships start to fall apart. Something my son and I do regularly is watch relationship programs together. Shows like Temptation Island, what is it, something about real love, not just for entertainment, but to study what actually happens between people in close, intimate relationships. To talk it through, to identify the root issues most people miss. It's become one of the ways we work through real conversations about relationships and come to real conclusions. And it was during one of these, it was during one of those conversations that my son said something that stopped me. He said, there will always be somebody better looking, somebody taller, somebody with more money. Always. And then he said something that hit differently. He said, people don't know what they want in relationships. And relationships aren't even the priority for most people. When he said that, something clicked. Knowing yourself and knowing what you want are not two separate things, family. They're the same work. And most people have never done it. When you don't have that clarity, you use feelings as your filter. And feelings change. You'll keep attracting situations that reflect that confusion back to you. Identity isn't something a relationship gives you. It's something you bring to the relationship. There will always be something newer, shinier, seemingly better. And the people who are always chasing the next best thing, they're not broken or without conscience. They just haven't been anchored to anything deeper than their preference. I watched this play out with my own uncle. He was in a good, sound marriage. But the moment he saw another woman, he was gone. That marriage ended. Then the next relationship. Then that marriage. Then another marriage. He kept leaving because he was always convinced something better was out there. His last wife didn't look like any of the other women he dated before. Didn't have the same money, but she had alignment. And he finally had enough identity to recognize it. He spent decades chasing the superficial. And those were years he can't get back. Real standards come from values. Shallow standards come from comparison. Values are stable. Comparison never is. When your choices are driven by comparison instead of values, you will always find a reason to leave. That's not a relationship problem. That's an identity problem wearing relationship clothes. The relationship that lasts aren't built on chemistry alone. They're built on two people who came in knowing who they were and what they valued and found alignment in that. That's not luck. That's a standard. I can trace this in my own life. There was a guy in high school, probably was the right one for me, popular, good looking, and I walked away. Not because we didn't connect. It was because I couldn't see past what he lacked on the surface. It was on me. What I didn't know then was that our values actually lined up. We both valued family. We both valued our parents. We both knew how to treat and talk to one another. We both valued God. But I didn't have the clarity to see that at the time. I didn't know who I was yet. I'm not putting it on him. I didn't know who I was. He knew. He knew that I was the one for him. I didn't know it. I didn't know who I was yet. It took years to look back and recognize that. That could have been real alignment for me. But I didn't have the tools to identify it at that time. That's what this framework gives you. I'm trying to prevent you from missing it like I did. Clarity before commitment means you do the work before you make the choice. You know your non-negotiables. You know what you're building toward. Values before connection means you don't let how someone makes you feel override what you already know about them and about yourself. Being settled is not settling. Let me correct that right now. Settled means you're grounded. It means you're not moved by every new person or every new opportunity because you already know what you're anchored to. And because of that, the relationship becomes more important than the distraction. When you know who you are and what you value, you stop chasing better. You start recognizing alignment. That's where healthy relationships begin. And that's what sustains them. The people who build real, lasting relationships aren't the luckiest. They're the ones who did the work to know themselves before they made the commitment. And I want to leave you with this final scripture in 1 Timothy 6:6. But godliness with contentment is great gain. I'm Deborah, and this is Family Still Matters. And because family still matters, understanding who God created you to be before you entered covenant with another person is not an option. That is our foundation, family. Thanks for watching. God bless.